In this video, we're going to look at how to complete the annotated bibliography. So as you can see, I'm in Word right now, and a couple things I want to do to set up my Word document to make sure that it's just how I need it for APA formatting. First, I want to check my margin, so that's in page layout, and I want to be sure that I'm selecting normal, which has 1-inch margins on all sides. From the Home tab, I can be sure that my font is a sans serif font, which is also according to APA format. Times New Roman works perfectly, and you also want to make sure that it's 12-point font. Last thing we want to check is that our entire document is double-spaced. Once we have these settings, we will start with the title of our work at the top center of the page. Our next set of information does not need to be centered, so I'll use this button to left align my work. Now, let's go to one of the papers that I've read for my annotated bibliography. Here you can see a couple of different things that are important to note. The first is the name of the journal. That's here, Nature Neuroscience. The other thing that you can see on this page is the title and the authors. But this is not all of the information that you need for your APA formatted citation. You also need to know the page numbers and the volume number of this particular article. So where would we find that? Well, down here at the bottom of the page, as you can see, it nicely lays out volume 12, tells us that the year of publication is 2009, and while it doesn't have the page numbers explicitly written anywhere, we can see that we have page 253 to page 255. The last thing you want to note is whether or not your particular journal article has a DOI, or a Data Object Identifier. Okay? This DOI is used as a permanent location at which people can find the article for easy access in case URLs move or change. So now that we have all of that information, we want to make sure that we're formatting it correctly for our APA format citation. We'll start first with the authors' names. So we'll copy it from here, come back to our bibliography page, and paste our author names here. But of course this is not in APA formatting, so I'll move that down just so I can see it very easily. And what I want to do first is type out the last name of the first author, Wang, and the first initial. Okay, so let me show you that one more time. We have Wang, comma, S, period. Now there's more authors, so I will continue my list with a comma. And before the last author, I'd like a comma, the ampersand, and then the last name of the authors. So you can see here we've taken this information from the actual article and adapted it to APA formatting here, where it's last name, comma, first initial, period, comma, last name, comma, first initial, middle initial, comma, right, with periods in between. Next, we want to put the year of publication, which, if you'll recall, was 2009. The next part of our APA citation comes from the title of the paper. So let's go back to paper here. We can copy and paste that here. We want to paste as text, just to make sure that we're not carrying over any of the formatting, and put it all in one line. Now, APA formatting is particular in that the title of the paper has only the first word capitalized and none of the subsequent words capitalized in the title. Okay, so you can see those are all lowercase letters. For the title of the journal, we want it to be in italics, which we can select up here, Nature Neuroscience. comma. Now note that the title of the journal is in capital letters for both words and also italics. Next comes the volume number. Scroll down to see volume 12, comma, and then the page numbers are not italicized, 253 to 255, with a period. There's only one last thing we have to do to make this in APA format, and it's that we need a hanging indent at the beginning of the citation. So if you come back to the beginning of the line, if you just hit tab, this is what will happen to your citation. So let's undo that. You want to instead hit enter and then tab, which will move the bottom line over to what we call a hanging indent. And so here you have it, your finished citation for your first article. Next, after the citation, you want to include the text about your annotation. Over here, I have my annotations already written out, so I am just going to copy that over to my new document. And one other thing that I forgot to mention, at the end of your citation for any article that has a DOI, you want to be sure to put that DOI into the citation. So we'll copy the DOI from here. And we just want to put it right at the end of our citation, like this. And again, we want this line to have a hanging indent. Then you'll find the text of your annotation immediately following that particular citation, and then you'll start off with your next citation. Okay, so coming over here to my finished annotated bibliography, something else about APA formatting is that your citations need to be in alphabetical order according to the last name of the first author. Okay? So here, our first author is Wang. In the second citation, the author is Rydell. And in the third citation, the author is Eldridge. So what we need to do is put our list, or rearrange our list, so that it's in alphabetical order by the last name of the first author of each of the papers. So E comes before both R and W in the alphabet, so we want to take our last citation as it's written here and move it to the top of our annotated bibliography. Okay. Again, so now we're left with Wang and Rydell. Let's take Rydell and move it to second on the annotated bibliography. And so now what you can see is that in this particular annotated bibliography, our three sources are listed in alphabetical order by the last name of the first author: Eldridge, Rydell, and Wang. That's basically all you need to know about APA formatting of your annotated bibliography. Pay close attention to the formatting of the citations themselves, as this is the same type of format that you'll be expected to use in your literature review.